Isang mapagpalang araw sa ating lahat, sa ating mga tagatangkilik ng Torch Education Hour. Nais po namin ipabatid sa inyo na ang Local Government of Taguig ay tumutulong sa DSWD sa pagdidistribute ng Social Amelioration Program upang manatili ang social distancing at kaayusan sa mga piling paaralan kung saan isinasagawa ang SAP distribution ng mga kawani ng nasabing ahensya. Mangyari po lamang na yung mga nag-submit ng DSWD forms at naaprubahan lamang ng DSWD ang pumunta sa mga paaralan. Kung kayo po ay may mga katanungan tungkol sa listahan ng mga benepisyaryo ng SAP, pumunta po lamang sa inyong mga barangay hall upang sumangguni at huwag pumunta sa paaralan dahil hindi po kayo matutugunan. Hangad po natin ang kaayusan sa bawat paaralan upang mapigilan ang pagkalat ng COVID-19 virus. Ang mga hindi po makatatanggap ng SAP mula sa DSWD ay tiyak naman pong makatatanggap ng Taguig Amelioration Program or TAP mula kay Mayor Lino Cayetano. Salamat po sa inyong pakikiisa at manatili po tayong ligtas ngayong panahon ng Enhanced Community Quarantine.
Welcome to another episode of Education Hour, a program presented by Taguig City Education Office and DepEd Taguig. I'm Miss Herwina Limpasan from Senator Rene Campañero Cayetano Memorial Science and Technology High School.
Today's presentation is entitled Mathematical Problems, Catalysts in Producing World's Critical Thinkers. The biggest term to be emphasized in this presentation is critical thinker. How do we describe a critical thinker? Let's start our discussion. Thinking is an action that we constantly do in every single day of our lives. We think and think and think. But we must know that not all of our thinking process can be considered as critical thinking. To be considered as a critical thinker, then you must be able to make the best judgment and best decisions by analyzing an issue from all sides objectively. This means that all biases shall be put aside. Critical thinkers do not only separate facts from personal opinions. They examine all information they receive. They are very much aware that not everything they hear is true. In this way, they can avoid fake news. With critical thinking skills, a person can obtain awareness not just about what he thinks, but also about how he thinks. Being aware of how the mind works brings calmness and clarity during an investigation. They can easily perform an extensive investigation and avoid quickly jumping into any conclusion. Critical thinking definitely includes several skills, and all these are needed in our daily working lives. It is therefore crucial to enhance critical thinking continuously. And just like our physical body, our mind surely needs an exercise to enable us to do bigger things, and this time to develop critical thinking. One of the best ways to build our critical thinking skills is to be exposed into mathematical problems. This afternoon, I will give you math problems that will exercise your mind to help you develop critical thinking skills. Each problem requires an answer, but more than just giving me the correct answer, I want you to be aware of how you get the answer. This can bring awareness on how your brain works. You may follow the steps in obtaining the answer. 1. Analyze the problem carefully. 2. Devise a plan. 3. Carry out the plan. 4. Look back and check your answer. Don't worry, I will not give you hard mathematical problems. But surely, I will give you problems that will exercise your mind to develop critical thinking skills. Are you ready? Let's have your first problem. Squares are faster than circles, hexagons are slower than triangles, and hexagons are faster than squares. Which of these shapes is the slowest? Again, follow the steps by analyzing the problem carefully, devise a plan, carry out the plan, and look back to check your answer. I know you will need some time, so you may choose to pause the video as you try to answer the problem and resume once you're done. For those of you who chose to resume the video, you may consider this tip to answer the problem. I want you to list down all the given clues from the problem and make an illustration. Make sure that all these clues are correct and factual. Also, do not guess. It is possible to answer this problem without guessing. Pause the video as you try to answer the problem and resume once you're done. Let's now try to figure out if your answer is correct. In the problem, you are asked which of these shapes is the slowest. I have told you to list down all the clues and make an illustration. Let's try to figure out the correct answer by considering all these clues. On clue number 1, squares are faster than circles. Thus, I will have to draw the square to the right of the circle. On the second clue, hexagons are slower than triangles. Now, we do not know where to put hexagon nor triangles, and I told you, do not guess. You may simply proceed on the clue number 3, where it says hexagons are faster than squares. With that case, I can draw hexagon to the right of the square. Now, I can go back to the second clue. Hexagons are slower than triangles. That means I will have to draw the triangle to the right of the hexagon. I told you to always check your answer before finalizing it. And so, in this problem, the correct answer is circle. I hope you get the correct answer. Let's proceed to problem number 2. Adam, Ben, Chase, David, and Ed were waiting in line. Adam is between Ben and Chase. Ben is between David and Adam. Ed is also between David and Adam. Ben is between David and Ed. Who is in the middle of the line? As you try to answer the problem, pause the video and resume once you're done. For those of you who are still continuing in answering the problem, you may consider this tip. List down all the clues given in the problem and take note that there are 5 persons involved. Let the first letter of their name be the representation. For example, let A represent Adam. In this way, you can have an efficient solution. Remember to not guess. It is possible to answer this problem without guessing. After all, what we're trying to do is to exercise your mind. Please pause the video if you try to answer the problem and resume once you're done. As you continue in watching the video, I hope you already have an answer. Let's try to figure out if your answer is correct. In the given problem, remember, you are asked who is in the middle of the line. All the necessary information to answer the problem is already given. Let's arrange the 5 persons according to the clues. First clue, Adam is between Ben and Chase. Therefore, A has to be in the middle of B and C. Second clue, Ben is between David and Adam. Therefore, we have to put David here so we can consider B in between of David and Adam. Third clue is saying that Ed is also between David and Adam. Therefore, Ed can be found in here or in here. We cannot use clue number 3 yet, so we'll have to proceed to clue number 4. Ben is between David and Ed. With that case, we can know where to put Ed. It says here that Ben should be between David and Ed, and therefore Ed has to be here so we can find Ben in between of D and E. We now go back to clue number 3. Ed is also between David and Adam. Is it already illustrated in the arrangement? E is found here, D is found there, and A. Therefore, Ed is really in between of David and Adam. Let's try to properly write our solution, and so we can visualize that the person in the middle of the line is Ed. I hope you appreciate that you can actually answer this problem without guessing. All you just have to do is to have an organized thought. Are you having a good exercise? Let's now proceed to problem number 3. At Agnes Middle School, Mr. I, Mr. Love, and Mr. Problems teach science, math, and history, but not necessarily in that order. The history teacher, who was an only child, has the least experience. Mr. Problem, who married Mr. I's sister, has more experience than the science teacher, who teaches science. Again, let me remind you, always have to separate facts from your personal opinion. All the necessary information to answer this problem is found in the problem itself. Please pause the video as you try to answer this math problem and proceed once you're done. For those of you who still find it hard to find the answer in this problem, let me give you a tip. I want you to consider all the clues given in the problem and then create a table in this format. In the table, put check if the intersection of the teacher and the specific discipline is correct and put an X if the intersection is wrong. For example, we know that the history teacher is an only child. Also, it is stated that Mr. I has a sister. With that case, we know that the history teacher cannot be Mr. I. Remember, do not guess. It is possible to answer this problem the same way you did in problem 1 and problem 2. All you just have to do is consider all the factual information coming from the problem itself and organize it with your brain. Again, pause the video as you try to answer the problem and resume once you're done. Let's see if you have the correct answer already. Remember, in the problem, you are asked, who teaches science? I told you to list down all the factual information. And also, continue in filling out this table. We already know that our history teacher cannot be Mr. I because of clue number 1 and clue number 4. Let's try to make use of clue number 2. The history teacher has the least experience. With that, we cannot do anything yet. Let's try to work clue number 2 with clue number 3. Where in clue number 3, Mr. Problem has more experience than the science teacher. That means that Mr. Problem cannot be the history teacher because the history teacher has the least experience. In that case, if history teacher cannot be Mr. I, cannot be Mr. Problem, therefore, he should be Mr. Love. Let's try to look at Mr. Love. Mr. Love is already teaching history. Therefore, he cannot be the science nor the math teacher. Now, let's try to go back to our information. We have used 1, 2, and 4. But in number 3, we haven't used the idea that Mr. Problem has more experience than the science teacher. That means Mr. Problem itself cannot be the science teacher. Therefore, we have to put an X in here. And if Mr. Problem cannot be the science teacher nor the history teacher, therefore, he teaches math. And look at this. Math teacher is already Mr. Problem. Therefore, he cannot be Mr. I anymore. Thus, our science teacher is Mr. I. I hope you appreciate that we can actually answer this kind of problem without guessing. All you just have to do is organize your thought properly and systematically. Let's finalize an answer. Our answer is Mr. I. If you still need more exercise, you may choose to do task 1 and task 2. You may share your answer in the comment section in this format. Task number, answer. Do not forget to include your explanation. If you are still looking for higher mathematical concepts, you may always choose to open math books or search up the YouTube or other video platforms. Also, you can learn to develop your critical thinking skills by entering the world of science, or read books in English, o pasukin ang iba't ibang bahagi ng asignaturang Pilipino. Sa panahon kung saan ang dapat nating gawin ay stay at home, let's choose to maximize our time and be productive. This is the best time to build ourselves. Now, we are about to end the presentation, but let me ask you 2 more important questions. 1. Why think critically? Bakit kailangan nating mag-isip ng malalim? There are so many possible answers, but let me give you the simplest one. Because the world needs you. And why does our world need critical thinkers? Ito ay dahil sa maraming issue o problema ang kailangan nating harapin at solusyonan. Lahat ng ito ay nangangailangan ng malalim na kaisipan. Nandiyan ang issue ng traffic, kahirapan, diskriminasyon, kagutuman, education rights, iba't ibang environmental issues, at sa panahong ngayon, isang pandemyang dala ng COVID-19. Sa pandemyang ito, oras kung saan maraming buhay ang nakasalalay, naway matuto tayong pag-isipan ng malalim ang bawat aksyong ating gagawin. Ang mga aksyong ito, gaano man kaliit, ay maaaring makaligtas ng buhay. Piliin natin gumawa ng mga desisyon na hindi lamang makabubuti sa ating sarili o sa ating pamilya, kundi pati na rin sa lahat ng ating kapwa. I hope that you are reminded that you and your mind play vital roles in this battle. May we all hail as one.